lifetime of tending to other people's needs to the point of not even knowing what yours are. This is something I see very commonly in both men and women when, women are there taking care of the home or putting their children first, or men putting their families first and having all these obligations to the point of not even remembering who they are, not even having an identity themselves. So this is common for all of us. I know that I have myself absolutely experienced this. And it feels so impossible to come back to that. It feels so confusing to I don't even know who I am. It's been so long. I don't even know. And what does it look like to reclaim that voice? And here's the tricky part. There's this spark. There's this spark because it's not possible ever to be fully disconnected from you. That spark is in there. But it's having the courage to uncover that. One of the visuals that I love to bring up, it's if you know an amethyst stone, inside it's gorgeous, right? But outside it's just a really ugly rock. And it's not until you cut it open that there's this beautiful crystal inside. And it's like that within us. There's this whole thing that's solidified that just, we don't even know who we are anymore until we uncover it. And there's just so much magic. So how do we come back to that? How do we remember what we want and what our needs are? Let's dive right in. I've decided to make this video because this is such a relevant topic. Whether you have obligations towards family, towards your career, so many reasons why we put off being ourselves. And I'm going to ruffle some feathers with this one. I'm going to be really honest because some creators might give you 3 tips to move out of this. This isn't me. I'm going to call you out on things. I'm very blunt in my work. This is why when I work privately with clients, they get insane results in just 3 months because I don't sugarcoat it, and I will call you out because I strongly believe this is what helped me in my own work. And in the inner work that I do with myself, also with the teachers that I work with, either you own it or it owns you. So as long as we're sugarcoating it, as long as we're trying not to hurt our feelings, we're not facing the problem. And it's only when we face it, when we can call out our own inner critic and really see what it's doing, that's when we can move past that. That's when we can step into our power. And this channel is called The Powerful Self. The logo that I have for The Powerful Self is a phoenix and a Zen circle, which basically means just do it. And yes, the burning is necessary, but you come back more powerful and stronger and embodied in your purpose. And that's what I want for you, okay? So I will call you out right now. So get ready. As you're coming into the body and just whatever this brings up, the topic of, wow, this hits home, this resonates. I don't even know who I am anymore. I've just spent so long catering to other people. And I'm trying to squeeze in my own time and things that are important to me, but the truth is I've lost my identity, or I feel I'm definitely losing it. The scary truth is that we sometimes use other people, situations, circumstances as an excuse to not step into our power. And I've seen this over and over again. And it especially resonates. You may feel truth to this and you may no, it's not. I'm not using anyone as an excuse. That's an invitation to look into this. Because especially when there's an energetic charge, we may not be ready to hear it yet, but there's something there. Because it's easier to say, I'm going to put off living that dream because I have obligations. It's easier to always find a reason why not than to move forward with what you do want. I cannot express the number of times that I've had clarity calls, and I'm asking people, the whole point of these clarity calls is for you to get clear on that which you want and what's standing in your way, and okay, what are the steps moving forward? And sometimes people want to work with me because that modality resonates, sometimes it's not, and I suggest a resource. And so the goal is for you to get clear on what you want, and you wouldn't believe what usually comes up. Usually people tell me that one thing they want and all the reasons why not. And we need those reasons. We need those reasons because as long as it's out there and I haven't failed at it, then I can just say, well, you know what? If I really did try, I would have probably gotten it. And this goes deep. What I'm addressing right now, it might ruffle some feathers. It goes deep because really we're so often afraid to move forward with that which we really want because we fear the disappointment. What if I don't get it? I don't want to really dream big because then I have to sit with the fact that I'm failing at that. And I have to talk myself into the choices that I am making to justify why I'm actually self-abandoning. And this is painful to realize. And this is painful to own. Because as much as there can absolutely be, I have 2 kids, and I get it, and we can go into justifying when things, let's say you're not moving forward, let's say hypothetically, let's say you have a career goal or you want to travel and you're like, okay, well, I can't do that now because I have other obligations, responsibilities, kids have school. And so, well, that's okay. That wasn't important enough anyway. I'm focusing on being a good parent. And we're sometimes talking ourselves out of what we really want to justify what we do have and to talk ourselves into what we're having. Instead of entertaining this idea and saying like, oh, wait a second. If I really want to make it work, they've got school holidays. Like, what if that's possible? Like, okay, well, I would need extra money for that. We don't go into the possibility of it because it's easier not to. Because as long as we haven't tried, we haven't failed. But the truth is you are failing. Every day that you're not moving towards that, you're failing. The failure isn't in, I don't know who I am because I don't find time anymore. It's like, I don't even know what I want. You can not know what you want, but you're still succeeding because you're trying to find out. That's success. But your inner critic won't let you go there. Your inner critic will tell you, no, as long as you don't know, you're failing. And that's another trick of the mind. And this is something that we polish in the one-on-one work that I do with people. It's like, we just don't allow this. And people become just coming out of the self-mastery so good at this that it's like, oh, the thought isn't even, it's not even there. It's not even a possibility because your inner critic will tell you there is somewhere to get to and you're never there. And it's true, right? Think about it. If you're comparing where you are right now, if you're comparing it to a future version of you, well, you're always a failure. You're never there. You never will be. But if you choose to look back and compare yourself to the you that you were a year ago or 2 years ago, the odds are it's like, hey, I did really well. I'm a success. What are you comparing yourself to? And are you comparing yourself to an unachievable ideal? You will never be the future version of you right now. And that's the whole juice of it. There is always something to look forward to. There's always a next level. So what are you hearing me say with this? And one of the big takeaways that I do want you to walk away with from this video is that as long as you're figuring it out, you're already succeeding at it. Most people don't even do that. I get on clarity calls with people. I'm like, most people watching this, they're not going to get on a clarity call. It's still more convenient for them to say, well, I can't, or there are no solutions. And hey, I don't judge that. I was there. When I first started working with my teachers, I was arguing for the fact that being homeless is not worse than living in a luxurious house. And if you have judgment, well, that's judgment, and that's not spiritual of you. I was using all kinds of things to talk myself out of going for what I want. And we do because it's more convenient. But my question is, are you here for the convenience or are you here for the thrill of the expansion? Because when you follow that, you actually get to convenience, weirdly enough. You understand that, oh my God, all of my desires, everything that I want, life had it set up in such a way that when I follow that, I'm held and I'm provided for and things are working out. You weren't, and think about it, your body, right? It's programmed, as long as you stand out of the way. Let's say we're upset and we're crying. We're like, oh, I shouldn't cry. Something's wrong with me. Tears are your body self-regulating. That's your nervous system coming back to health. When you get food poisoning. Your body's working through it. It's programmed, it's designed to work through and get back to health. All of life was set up for you to thrive and to survive. Why would this be any different? And the only reason that this feels different is because we're standing in our own way, because we don't, just like we don't allow ourselves tears sometimes, or the anger, not throwing anger at another person, punching them in the face, but anger, like feeling it fully. We don't allow it. We don't allow our system to come back to health. In the same way, we don't allow ourselves to be truly happy, which is what we designed for, because it feels good. And from that place, like, what if from that place comes all creation you need? What if from that place comes all the support, but we're holding ourselves back and we're using other people as an excuse of why we can't be fully happy, we can't be fully ourselves. And when we claim that, that's when we truly start to live. So again, check out in the description if you want one-on-one support with this. If you want just kind of to dip your feet into this, then Thrive is a monthly membership that I have. We have weekly calls where we tune into this frequency. How do we polish this? How do we learn how to work with that? How do you choose to create, from abundance versus lack? Because it's a subtle twist in frequency, but when you get it, everything changes. So make sure to check that out in the description. Also, there's a free practice in the description. And I thank you for being here, and I'm wishing you a very powerful week.